Hi everyone, my name is Jennifer, and today I'm going to talk about a very important topic, which is like the anchor of my life. It is called why routines are like a lighthouse, and when you drift away, sometimes they are the ones that can lead you back. So let's get straight to it. For me, discipline has been instilled very early in life, and I would give all the credit to my father, and therefore have valued routine ever since. On good days, my home runs like clockwork, almost like a very tired army sergeant, right? But jokes apart, for me, routine is an anchor and it gives me stability and direction and a way to come back when my work, my personal life, my personal goals, and the eternal what to cook next questions always collide. But of course, life happens. There are days when one urgent ask hijacks your entire calendar, and boom, your day has vanished. And there are days when you want to wake up early and get your workout done, and but your mind is quietly presenting this plea to you, saying that one day break, please, and there goes your motivation, right? Or then there are days when everything is important, everybody wants a piece of your time, everything is urgent, and you don't know what to focus on. First, know that this is life, it happens, it's all right, take a breath. You can always come back to your routine, and therefore, it is important to have one. The goal is not to follow a perfectly scheduled life every single day. The goal is to have a schedule so that when you know your life is out of control, you know how to come back. That is why I think routines are like a lighthouse. When you feel lost, when you're drowning in the sea, on all the urgent and important tasks, your routine helps you find your way back. So, here are three things that have helped me build my perfect schedule, and I'd like to share those with you. First, know your priorities and your non negotiables. That's your starting point. For me, my four things are exercise, cooking for myself and my family. It's a newly adopted priority, by the way. Time to learn and work towards my personal vision goals, and time with my family. So, these are my priorities, non negotiables in life. Do I manage all of these perfectly every single day, 365 days a year? Absolutely not. I am a disciplined person, but I'm not a robot, right? Like, I know some people would like to call me that, but I'm not. But if I miss them for a day or two, I can feel it. Somehow life feels off, and I know I have to come back to my routine. So, one rule I try to follow to keep at it is I don't skip my priorities or my non negotiables 3 days in a row. That's a no no. I come back after the second day. The second important principle is I build my day around my important matters. So if you know your priorities, you have to start building your other pieces of life around them. So here is what my daily routine sometimes looks like, right? Sometimes when I say almost all the time, first 4:30 a.m. is my wake up time, Monday to Friday. Don't fall off your chair, it's not that hard. By 5 a.m. I finish cooking. By 6 a.m. I complete my home workout. By 7 a.m. I leave my home with my daughter and drop her off at the bus stop. 7:30 to 8:30 is when I reach office and I focus on my personal vision goals. Yes, it is important to have personal vision goals because that gives you this side anchor point when other things are crazy and out of your control. Between 8:45 and 9:30 is when I prepare for the rest of my day. I reorganize my meetings, I delegate where possible, I do any deep thinking work that might be required at work. And 10 a.m. onwards, my calls begin, and then it's a group project, right? Like the calendar is out of your direct control. On Saturdays, I wake up a little bit later because I try to schedule my workout along with my daughter's badminton class. So, two things in a row. On Sundays, I wake up by 8 a.m. because that's my only rest day. Well, somewhat of a rest day. You know, we mothers don't get rest days, right? Now, work work week evenings is where I struggle the most. I'll be honest. I am trying to close my work, I'm checking on my daughter's studies, I'm managing her evening routine, and somehow try to be this calm, emotionally available human being when I'm running on fumes with my energy. That part, having structured evenings, is something that I'm figuring out. It's more about, how my evening work calls are scheduled. But if you have any tips to share with me, please do share, because that is something that I'd like to try on. Anything that does not involve waking up earlier than 4:30, I will try, I promise. I also don't watch any YouTube or TV between Monday to Thursday. I, however, do ensure that I read a couple of pages of a book that I'm trying to read. Mostly they're self-help books, because that's a way of telling my mind that it's shut down time now. The third principle that I have is that I protect my time very, very fiercely. Here are a few things that have worked for me. First, I finish all the important things first thing in the morning when there are fewer distractions. So, for example, my workout, planning my rest of the day, I finish that first thing in the morning. I block out time that are important for me on my calendar, because if it is important, you need to keep aside scheduled time. It cannot be shared time, it cannot be in between times. Third is I am intentional about where I spend my time and effort. If it is not adding value, I try to step away from it. Fourth, I do not try to tax my brain too much, because it has limited capacity, right? So I write reminders for myself, I write checklists for myself. The thrill of checking off a to-do item is something else, you would know, right? So I try to keep things that I want to remember pasted on my desk or in my diary. I try to do my work meetings within 30 minutes. I try not to extend them, because that's not advantageous to anybody. And lastly, this one I'm struggling with, so tell me if you have other tips for this as well. I'm trying to avoid gossip both at work and in my personal life. I have realized that it does not add value to anybody. It steals away your energy, but it's a real challenge. Trust me. Finally, I think it's very easy to say that you are slave to everything that gets thrown at you, and it's just very easy to say I just don't have the time. But when you know your priorities and you protect your time for them, you may still have a busy day, but it will feel more intentional, more fruitful, and more like your day. And when you drift, because you will, don't punish yourself, just come back. Build a routine and give yourself grace when life interrupts it. That's the balance that I'm learning. What are your ideas to take control of your day? I would love to hear them too. Do share them. Thank you very much.